Hey guys, this is Lolp here and I'm bringing you another video. This one's going to be about TVZ and it's going to focus specifically on a reactor Hellion opening and to a fast expansion and to a 2-base timing push. Now you don't always have to do the 2-base timing push with this build. You can play a little bit more standard, but I find the 2-base timing push to be extremely effective. So as you can see here, I'm scouting right after my depot finishes, and a little trick you can do is move a SCV here right when the Overlord would be here. And if you see the Overlord, then you can know that he's in this position. And if you don't see the Overlord, you can rule out that he's in this position and only have 2 bases to scout. Okay, so I did my gas at 12 and my barracks at 13. As soon as my gas finished, I put 2 more guys on it for a total of 3. And he's going with the standard 15 hatch. Now here I come and scout. He's obviously doing a 15 hatch. I check the building to make sure it's not a baneling nest or anything crazy. I believe July Zerg did something like that in one of the GSLs and tricked out his opponent and did like a 1-base baneling bust or something. It was pretty crazy. Okay, so I see that he's going standard 15 hatch in spawning pool, and I immediately send my SCV back. Some people might say, well, why don't you just stick around until the Zerglings come out? I can, but the thing is they'll almost never let you see an important tech structure. If they go 15 hatch, they'll get their Zerglings out and then deny your scout and go their tech from there. They won't just let you see them throw down their roach warren or throw down their baneling nest and all that good stuff. So I like to immediately send my SCV home for more mining time, knowing I'm almost never going to gain valuable information from that. So here we go. My factory's about to finish, and as soon as this reactor finishes, I'm going to put the factory onto it. So what you want to do as soon as your barracks finishes is put down your factory, get your orbital, get a supply depot, and get a reactor. So barracks finishes, factory, orbital, supply depot, reactor. And I'll make sure to put all this stuff in the description in the build order so it's a little bit easier for you to know. Okay, so as soon as your factory lands, you want to get 2 Hellions immediately, and you want to get a tech lab on your barracks immediately as well. The reason is if you scout roaches, you're absolutely going to want to get maruders as soon as possible. If you send your first 2 Hellions down here and he has like 4 roaches or something, you're going to need to get down your maruders as fast as possible, maybe even a bunker if needed. So on 24 food, I throw up a command center, and then I'm going to do 2 more Hellions. With these 4 Hellions, I'm just going to scout and poke and prod a little bit, but I don't want to lose them. I can't emphasize that enough. You do not want to lose your Hellions. If you're losing your Hellions, you're going to be in a terrible position. Because if you're doing this 2-base timing push, 4 Hellions help amazingly versus a bunch of Zerglings. You know, you can siege up and then move your Hellions back and forth, taunting his army to come move into your siege and get some free pot shots and all that good stuff. So as you can see though, he's getting a pretty good defense against my Hellions. He has 3 queens and a spine crawler. It's going to be pretty difficult for these Hellions to get any damage done. So when this command center finishes, you're going to want to morph it into an orbital. And as you can see, I got 2 extra barracks, 1 on the reactor, and I'm getting my factory with tech lab and a starport. So here I go to poke and prod with these Hellions. He has his Zerglings up, he has his queens up, he has his spine crawler up, and chances are I'm not going to be able to do any damage, and I'm not going to risk losing 4 Hellions for possibly 2 or 3 drone kills. So here we go, I'm morphing that into an orbital. I got my second gas up, and I'm going to put 2 guys on it pretty soon for a total of 3. There we go. Okay, I thought I put on 4 there for a sec. And now my infrastructure is almost set up to prepare for this timing push. I have my starport, factory, 3 barracks, 1 with reactor. And as soon as this finishes, I'm going to drop my mule and float it out. There we go, I dropped my mule and float it out. Okay, so from here, you're going to want to pump marines, siege tanks, and 2 medevacs. You're also going to want to get your 2 gas, as you see I'm doing there, because you'll need a little bit more. And I have my siege tanks and siege mode started, and I'm getting marines out of all my barracks. I'm getting SCVs out of both command centers. And there we go. I'm looking to be in a good position from here. So the ideal composition is 25 to 35 marines, 4 Hellions, 4 siege tanks, and 2 medevacs. That's your goal. That's what you want to get. When you push out, you want that composition. 4 tanks, 4 Hellions, 25 to 35 Marines, a medevac or 2, and that's when you want to push out. You should have those units by around the 10-minute 30 mark. I get them a little bit late this game because I get supply blocked a couple times. As you can see, here's the first time. This delays your push by quite a bit, believe it or not. So I'm still just pumping Marines, tanks, and medevacs. And I'm keeping my production up here with SCVs as best I can. And he's taking down the rocks to take his goal. So as you can see, he's going Spire, Baneling Nest, and Double Evil Chamber. So obviously he's preparing for the late game here and banking some money for mutas. Admittedly, this guy is not playing very well. He's a low Masters player. But this build works for just about anybody if done perfectly. So as you can see, my push is really starting to shape up here. I'm just waiting for my last tank. I got a handful of Marines, and I'm just macroing from here. Now you can choose not to do this push and just take a third, and that will be safe as well. I actually really like timing pushes. I like all the micro and stuff involved, and so I tend to do those more often. As you can see, I got supply blocked again for a second, which is really bad on my part. So here we go. I have 4 tanks, a handful of Marines, and 2 medevacs. This is when this is when you want to start the push. So you can see here, I'm hockeying my units. I got my Marines on 3, my tanks on 4, and I'm gonna go ahead and move in. You might want to hockey your medevacs too, as they run ahead of a little bit of your army sometimes. But sometimes I like just clicking on my individual units, even though it's slightly better to hockey them. But it does take some getting used to. Okay, so as you can see, he's trying to prepare for this push. He's getting a handful of Banelings, tons of Zerglings, and he's waited to the last possible second to get these units. So that's good on his part, but I don't know. I don't think he should have went his muta route. I guess it was okay, but they don't do too much for him this game. So as you can see, I'm getting ready to do my push, and these Hellions are coming in use. And he almost comes in here. I think he sees me. I think if he dedicated 100% here, he might have been able to kill this army. It would have been really close, and certainly he wouldn't have automatically lost the game. But he does hesitate a little bit. So I might have wanted to siege right about here and leapfrog my tanks from that point, instead of getting so close to his natural. As you see, he backs off a little bit. He has his mutas out, so he has a bunch of Banelings, Zerglings, and his mutas. And from this point on, he's just trying to hold my push. That's all he has in mind. Now I'm going to unsiege a couple tanks and try and move them up here. And as you can see, there's no way this third's going up. It's instantly denied. And he sees my tanks unsiege, and he thinks this is the time to push. I can crush him now. But as you see, my units are split well. I pop my stim. I still have all 4 Hellions doing damage, and I easily clean that up. So notice where my tanks are. They're here, 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 and here. They're very split up. My Marines were split up, and I still have 3 Hellions left. There's really not much he can do to take me out from this point. So I'm going to go ahead and push in and kill him quickly. So as you can see, that's a 2-base timing push. Like I said, instead of doing this timing push, you can take your third and play standing from there. This reactor Hellion helps you open with a safe way and put you into the late game or go into a timing push. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, ask me a question. I would like to mention I'm going to be doing some coaching. I'm not looking to get rich off coaching. I'm going to be charging $7.25 an hour, which is actually minimum wage in my state. So if you're interested in coaching, I'm a 1,000-point Masters Terran player. I have quite a bit of experience with helping players out in this game, and it's part of the reason I started these videos. But I will be doing coaching at $7.25 an hour. If you're interested in doing that, you can message me at my email, which will be in the description box. I'll go ahead and tell you what you need to message me in my email. There'll be a few questions so I can coach you to the fullest of my ability. But like I said, if you like the video, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a good day.